Weather in the Big Bend can change in an instant.
Back on Thursday, he lets you know that several rounds of rain are likely to come our way.
Stay prepared with ABC 27 First to Know Weather, warning you first when the weather changes. Stay ahead of dangerous storms that lead to flash floods and knockout power. Track heavy rain and powerful winds with real-time radar and alerts straight to your favorite device so you can keep your family safe. First to Know Weather, warning you first when the weather changes.
It's time for Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Breaking down game-changing plays, momentum-shifting moves, the inside scoop on the team, and what's next for the Noles. It's the ultimate FSU football experience. Live from Cusha's in the heart of Tallahassee, ABC 27 presents Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Sponsored by these businesses.
All right, fans, we have made it. 8 months feels like a long time to wait. There's no doubt about that, but we are here. We are fired up, and we are excited for the 2023 edition of Florida State football. Packed house here at Cusha's in College Town on a Monday night. And the first edition of Inside Seminole Football with the head coach, Mike Norvell. I know you're excited, Coach. You're ready to go. Last year when we started this, I borrowed your patented your slogan when you welcome everyone, the good morning slogan. I want to get the crowd here. We got a great crowd tonight. I want it. Coach and the guys have been working their tails off for the last 8 months to get ready for this season. Let's give him a warm welcome, okay? Give me a good morning, all right? On three, give me a good morning. 1, 2, 3.
I love it. Right? Good morning, everybody. It's a great day, and obviously there's a lot of excitement around the program. We have hit game week, and as you go through an off season starting back in January, all the different elements, from the winter program, spring practice, summer workouts, fall camp, and I told the team last night, in our meeting, just how proud of them that I was. They put themselves in a position to now enter game week, and the way they prepared, the way that they've continued to build each other, the way they've embraced the work in the competition, and it's been a great off season. Now it gets us to this point, and we got to have a great week ahead, and excited for the opportunity that's coming on Sunday.
What emotions do you have this time of year yourself as a head coach?
You're just there's so much excitement. Making sure that you're checking all the boxes, that everything that we can do to help prepare these guys to go out there and play their best, and whether it's the situations, the continuing to implement, the different concepts or schemes that we want to use, but then making sure that we're staying true to ourselves. That it's all about the fundamentals. It's about helping these guys continue to build and grow, and then when they can step on the field, Sunday night, that they're going to be confident, they're going to be able to play fast, and then be able to respond to whatever situations might arise.
Yep. Fall camp in the books. Overall, how would you assess? What would you tell people about what you appreciate the most about your guys' effort?
It always comes down to the work, and most teams will talk about the work. Our guys, they went and they embraced the work. I mean, it was every day. We've got after it. I mean, you look at the numbers. You look at the. We were telling them yesterday. Going back, we track everything with GPS and making sure that we're seeing the explosive movements, the top speeds, and I mean it has been such an incredible increase even from where we were a year ago, just to the output that our guys have been able to put on display, and we're faster, we're stronger, we're able to establish and maintain that for a more consistent basis of time. And so just excited about this team. And, I think when you see the relationships, you see the way that these guys care about each other, how hard they're willing to push for each other. I mean, it's really, it makes it fun to coach. And, obviously now when it gets to game week, now you get to go put it all on display.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw some stats. Just everybody knows, obviously, we have a ton of returning talent, and you and the staff have done an amazing job in recruiting in the transfer portal, high school recruiting as well. The Noles returned 77 players from the 2022 squad, including 11 all-conference selections. The ACC's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Those 77 players combined to account for 89% of FSU's total offense, including nearly 100%, of course, of passing yards, 76% of rushing yards, 68% of its defensive production, and 80% of tackles for loss last season. With that returning success and experience, did you feel like you were able, not necessarily to speed some things up with the camp and everything like that and what you wanted to implement, but did you feel like you could maybe take a few steps further than what you had in years past in getting ready?
Well, with that returning experience, you also have, just influx of competition because, we've had guys that maybe last year were red shirts or guys that have joined the program or true, whether it's true freshmen or transfers. I mean, that, those guys have come in and, really done an incredible job of putting themselves in a position to help this football team for this year. So it was the competition across, every position. And then, yes, I mean, there is a lot of familiarity to what we're doing and how we want to do it, but it's been the focus of how consistent can we be, and that's been a big a point of emphasis for our football team is that you can always try to add and do more, but it's about consistently being the best that you can be in the things that you've already implemented and continuing to grow in those situations. But I really like where this team is right now, and we need every practice this week. We're going to need every moment leading up to kickoff. But I'm proud of the way the guys have embraced, all that we put upon them and just the way they've competed with each other throughout this offseason.
Yep. Time now for our Truist hero of our first edition of Inside Seminole Football. Truist, a proud partner of Seminole Athletics and the official retail bank of Florida State. Care, it's a total bank changer. See how at truist.com. I want to, obviously the guys have put in a ton of work. Your staff's put in a ton of work. But, Josh Storms and your strength staff getting these guys ready from the end of last season through spring ball into those summer workouts for the grind of this entire year. You and Coach have had obviously a working relationship together for a long time. You know each other so well. Just describe that meaning for how Coach Storms and his staff get your group ready to rock and roll for a big year coming up.
Well, I mean, it's year-round, and Josh does a remarkable job in what he does for guys and implementing a plan for them to grow and to be strong, bigger, stronger, faster. But it's also helping to reaffirm and establish that culture on a daily basis. You go through the off season, you go through all the different workouts that our guys that they have to do when the coaching staff is maybe not with them. Josh and his staff have done just an incredible job in how they've been able to push and develop our overall program. Like I said, I mean, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster. We have a football team that looks the way it's supposed to look, and our guys, you have confidence because of that. And so I'm grateful for all that Coach Storms does, and just the leader that he is for this football team.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a great show for you planned in our first edition of Inside Seminole Football, live from Couch's in College Town. Come enjoy good food, good folks, and good times at Couch's Bayou Rouge. Couch's offers authentic South Louisiana cuisine and some of the best burgers and wings in town. Coming out to Couch's in College Town, the home of Inside Seminole Football, where we are at right now. We've got Coach, obviously, for the first 4 segments of the show tonight. We'll talk with Akeem Dent, fifth-year senior safety. Looking forward to talking to one of the veterans and leaders of this football team. And we'll also chat with Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller at the end of our show, coming up later on tonight. Just getting started, the first edition of Inside Seminole Football, live from Couch's in College Town, as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. Inside Seminole Football as his Florida State football squad getting ready. It's game week, ladies and gentlemen, and preparing for the Camping World kickoff down in Orlando Sunday night. It's a 7:30 p.m. Eastern kick with 8th-ranked Florida State, 5th-ranked LSU. Big-time matchup to open up the 2023 college football season. A time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Make sure to check out the tap room on Gain Street, and also the FSU-branded Legacy Lager. It's coming soon. Keep an eye on that. That thing's going to take over your tailgate. What's on tap around Florida State Athletics? Coming up here this weekend, men's and women's cross country are at the Fire Tower Challenge coming up on September the 1st. FSU women's volleyball, how about the start for Chris Poole and company? They swept the competition away in Athens, Georgia last weekend. All 9 sets to 0 with their 3 wins over Western Carolina, Georgia, and UConn yesterday on Sunday. They take on SMU and Auburn at historic Tully Gymnasium this weekend. By the way, Coach Poole is 2 wins shy of 900 career wins, Coach. Wow. That's not a bad number back there.
Absolutely. No, Coach Poole does an incredible job, and it's great to see him and his team just off to such a great start.
Yep. And then Brian Penske and Florida State Soccer, they are off to a great start after their Lone Star State sweep last week. They have their home opener on Sunday at the Seminole Soccer Complex, taking on South Florida at 2 p.m. So a perfect start for the Noles here with volleyball and women's soccer getting it done. Coach, this week, what's on tap for your crew day by day as you get ready and take each day to get better and steps closer to LSU?
No, absolutely. One of the great things about, the way we've implemented our plan for campus, we were able to get basically a preview this last week of what our LSU game week would be, and so we kind of ran through preliminary aspects of our game plan, kind of got that introduction, and we're going to now have to implement that and make sure that we clean up some of the mistakes we made a week ago and continue to build upon that as we get to Sunday. We'll have our normal Tuesday practice. With it being a Sunday kickoff, we will have an extra day that's a part of our normal prep, so I think it'll be great for our guys, just to continue to get their minds, their bodies, and all things right for what's ahead.
How excited are you about the offense that you have in place with the talent, the experience, the returning pieces, the newcomers as well? I mean, it all comes together for a pretty impressive group. I know you're excited to work with this fall.
No, absolutely, and I mean this is we talk all the time about a program built for playmakers, and this is an offense that has a lot of playmakers, and they've put that on display throughout fall camp. Whether it was the offensive line, the depth that we have there comparative to what we've had in years past. I mean, I think we're got a chance to really for that to be one of the strengths of our team. With anywhere from 8-9 guys that I think can go in there and play winning football. You look at the obviously everything with what Jordan when he's done, and just the leader he is for this football team, the growth that he's had even from a year ago, where I think he was one of the best players in college football a year ago, but I mean he's taken his game to another level, and you take all the skill positions and just the versatility, the variety of talents, the size, the speed. This is an offense that we've got to make sure that it comes down to the consistency of our execution, making sure that we're being able to not only be productive but be able to have that balance in the explosive plays and maintaining drives throughout the course of a contest. But you excited about what these guys have done, and obviously what they bring to it.
Coach, everybody sees Jordan on game day, but you get to see him every day, and you see him almost every minute of every day as well, and the work that he puts in and how he approaches it. How would you describe the approach overall, how he does it to get himself ready for what we all get to see on game day?
Well, I mean, that's what makes him special. I mean, it's the intensity of how he works. I mean, anybody can go out there and work hard. I mean, he brings a game-like mentality to every single rep in practice. It is, and I love, he's played, he's fifth year, he's obviously has experience, but when you can show up, for whether 25 practices in fall camp, he did the same thing in spring ball, and whether it's an individual, rep where he's just working on his drop. I mean, you see that as a game-like level of intensity and focus, and that's what allows him to grow in that confidence. The timing with the receivers, if he makes a mistake, he's telling me, the correction before I have to tell him, and that's ownership in what we're doing. It's also, he's holding himself accountable to the standard of how we want to operate, and that, that's contagious around a football team. And when your best players are your most improved players, you got a chance to really do something special.
Yeah, face of the program, leadership, like you talked about right there. When you see him in the huddle, you see him in the locker room. I thought that was very interesting when you talk about, hey, he's already diagnosing maybe what wasn't correct or not exactly hitting and executing on all cylinders. His leadership type, how would you go into that with what you see from him and how he leads this squad?
I mean, he leads by example, and he's somebody that I always say, I always want your actions to speak louder than your words. But what's amazing with Jordan is, his actions, they speak, and then when he needs to talk, everybody listens because he's earned that respect. And there's plenty of people in the world that would like to stand in front of people and give a speech, but if the actions don't follow up with what they're saying, you're not going to get much of a response. But Jordan has earned the right to be able to step up and step out, and if he needs to say something, he does. But there's not going to be something he's going to ask a teammate to do that he's not willing to do himself, and that's what I respect so much about him. And I think this team, you see that in just the way they support him and the way that he supports them.
He's a Heisman Trophy candidate, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Travis is the only player in America to lead his conference in yards per play, yards per pass attempt, yards per completion, pass efficiency rating, and fewest interceptions thrown with a minimum 200 pass attempts last season. So a great year a year ago, expecting big things, obviously, from Jay Trav here this season. And he's going to have a lot of weapons around him, which makes it fun for a play caller, makes it fun for an offensive coaching staff as well. I mean, you're going to give people some headaches here, Coach. You got a lot of things that need to be taken away, and defenses are going to have to pick their poison against you throughout the entire year, it feels like.
Well, I mean, that's what you want. You want to be able to have balance. For us, we want to be able to establish a run in every game that we play. And it's challenges. I mean, there's always going to be it. Starting off this, week one. I mean, we play a very talented defense that has got great players in their own right. But it still always has to be about us. And for us to be able to be versatile, to be explosive, to be able to take what the defense has given us in regards to things schematically, but also, we're gonna push the tempo. We're gonna try to play aggressively, whether it's in the run game or the passing game. And I think our guys embrace that with the depth and the competition that we have. And I think we're gonna be able to play a lot of different guys, but also allow those playmakers to get a chance to do what they do best.
A lot of playmakers where stars come to shine here at Florida State University. Talking about the offensive side of the football coming up. We'll talk about the stars returning and some of the new pieces that are going to help Mike Norvell's Florida State football team on the defensive side here in a moment. Hey, visit Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps and register for the chance to win a VIP experience to the Miami game. Winner gets hotel accommodations, 4 tickets to the game, 4 hospitality passes, and Knowles gear. Register today at Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps. More to come live from Couches in Collegetown, our first edition of Inside Seminole Football, as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. All right, getting geared up. Everybody's ready to get down to Orlando and watch Mike Norvell's Florida State football team open up this 2023 campaign. A big one at Camping World Stadium as the Noles will take on the LSU Tigers, a rematch of last year's contest, won by the Garnet and Gold 24-23 with an ending. If we can have an even more crazier ending than that this year, I'm going to have to go on blood pressure meds, Coach. That was something.
It definitely was. But it was one of those games that you always talk about an identity that you want to be able to put on display. And obviously there was great moments in that game. There were some disappointing moments in the game, but it came down to one play. And to have a play to where your effort, where your belief, where your want to have that type of finish was special for our team, and something that continue to help to build our program, and that lay that foundation for what we want to be. And I think our guys embrace that. But we know it's going to be an unbelievable battle this week. 2 top 10 teams in the country, kicking it off, and the defending SEC West champions, and this can be a fun game to be a part of.
Yes,
I can promise you that.
There's no question. And Noles fans heading down to Orlando and driving to that game. Whether you're heading to Orlando, around the area, Georgia, North Carolina, show your team spirit with a Knoll Pass toll sticker. Knowles Pass works on all toll roads throughout Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Plus, you can score volume toll savings. Go to getknollpass.com or find Knoll Pass on Amazon. All right, defensively, again, stars, pieces across the board, returning experience, and some youthfulness as well. That a lot of young guys in your secondary that have risen up and have had great fall camps for you across the board. Give me your 35,000-foot view about what you love about your defense right now.
You know, I mean, I love the explosiveness, but really the depth and versatility of talent. I mean, it's you go all three levels of our defense. I think you look at our defensive front. I mean, those guys are extremely talented. I mean, whether it's the guys coming off the edge, we feel like we got 4 to 5 guys that can really make an impact there. And, obviously, Jared Verse, the experience he brings, Pat Payton, what he was able to do a year ago, and then you look at the defensive interior. I mean, we've got we're going to have six, maybe even 7 guys that can go in there and be able to make an impact, to be able to stay fresh, to really try to establish that line of scrimmage is huge. We got 4 linebackers that it's the greatest depth that we've had at linebacker with legitimate playmakers, guys that can play sideline to sideline, great players in their own right. And then when you look at the defensive backfield, I mean, it is that's probably the group I'm maybe most excited about, just seeing the growth of where we were to where we are. Yeah. We knew we had really good players coming back, and to be able to add some of the newcomers, whether it's a transfer like Ventrell Cypress or even some of the freshmen that have come in and already proven themselves in a very short period of time that they're ready to take that step. And I'm excited to see that group get out there and play together, and the continued steps of what we can do defensively.
I've told you this before, but you said something in your spring football press conference that stuck with me about your defensive line, about building that depth, and the great teams in college football can rotate the guys 8, 9, even 10 deep across the board. How has that depth even taken you by surprise to a certain degree, where you knew you had a lot of pieces there? How have those guys even been able to exceed expectations through fall camp in some ways?
I was really confident in who we had, and some of the young guys that have grown up within the system. Some guys that played at a very high level. Fabian Lovett's been such a great leader for us. But you see a guy like Josh Farmer. I think he's really established himself this fall camp as somebody that I'm excited to see. Kind of take that next step in his game. Dennis Briggs. Just the versatility of what he brings. Such a great playmaker. I think he's really gonna do wonders. Then you add some newcomers like a Braden Fisk, who's definitely a dynamic talent in what he's done, and just his work ethic, his passion, that bringing that into the equation, into the room. I mean, it's just it's really special when you see that with guys that have kind of grown up within the program. Just how they kind of all merge together, gel together, and they're there to support each other so we can stay fresh and play at an elite level throughout the course of the game.
I feel like Seminole fans will notice 55 the first time they see him. He's got that look, Coach, up front.
Yeah, I mean, he plays with a great motor, physical, talented. I mean, it's definitely it's been a great spark. Coming in, he was unavailable to practice, in the spring, but has, really spent a lot of time in the meeting room, preparing himself, and then, he's made his presence felt, throughout fall camp, and excited to see him out there in Garnet and Gold come this Sunday.
Yeah, he's an impressive looking young man. There's no doubt about that. Time now for our Chick-fil-A stat nugget. Some numbers on Jared Verse, who, of course, enters the year on the Bednarik, Walter Camp, Lombardi Award watch list, as well as the Nagurski and Werfel Trophy watch list. He led the ACC with his average of 0.75 sacks per game, and his average of 1.4 tackles for a loss per game was 10th nationally. The only player in the ACC and one of two in a Power 5 program to have 4 games of at least 2.5 TFLs in 2022. And I don't even know if he was 100% for you health-wise throughout most of last season, Coach.
Well, and that's what, I'm really proud of Jared. And, like I said, I'm proud of all of our guys. But, when you sit there and, his choice to come back, it really made a great statement for our team. One, it's a statement of how much he loves his teammates, how much he loves being a part of this Florida State program, and just, what it means to him. But also the belief in, how he can continue to grow and develop. And, Jared did have to miss a lot of time, whether it's in practice or, even there in some games of last season where, he was, it was a challenge. But he's played at such a high level. But you go back after the year and you see the areas and the steps that he could take to continue to improve, and he embraced that. Another guy, you come out and you watch him on the practice field. I mean, it is game day for him, and he lets you hear it, he lets you feel it. It's a I love the passion of which he approaches to get better. And when you have guys that are extremely talented that bring that mindset and approach, it continues to elevate everybody's game throughout the course of a practice and a day.
Yeah, more to come here live from Couches in College Town with the head coach Mike Norvell when we return, as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. We got a full house once again to open things up. Great crowd tonight, live from Couches in College Town. Y'all ready for Sunday down in Orlando? Ready to go? Ready to go. Fired up. Ready to get after it with Florida State and LSU. Akeem Dent is in the house. He will join us in our next segment on the show. And Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller is in the house as well. He will be with us at the end of our program here this evening. Time now for our Scott and Wallace Keys to Success and Keys to a Successful Week Ahead, brought to you by the official law firm of Florida State Athletics, Scott and Wallace, 222-7777, with offices in Tallahassee. We talked about the work going in this week. But kind of take me through some of your more important keys, Coach, as you think about the matchup and prepare for the first game on Sunday night?
Well, there's going to be so much emotion come Sunday night, and for our guys, you have to prepare yourself for all of what can show up, the highs, the lows. I mean, there's going to be good plays, there's going to be bad plays, but you're playing a very talented team. But it's how you respond in those situations, making sure that you can maintain your composure, trust your training, trust your fundamentals, and then go out and have fun playing the game. I mean, this is what you do it for. You train, year-round to get so many, limited opportunities, and that's why, I'm proud of our guys for how they've worked up to this point. But like I said, every minute's gonna matter. Obviously, first games you try to limit the mistakes. The turnover battle's gonna be critical. Making sure that we own the football. Obviously the explosive plays. Understanding situational football, and then being able to limit the self-imposed mistakes. That's gonna be something that's gonna be a big part of the outcome of this game.
We talked offense, we talked defense. Special teams was pretty important in last year's win in a big-time way. You announced today Ryan Fitzgerald will be your place kicker, a hard-fought battle, great competition with Tallahassee native Tyler Keltner. Alex Mastromano is back. James Rosenberry, you put on scholarship in the offseason at your long snapper spot. And you've got some pretty dynamic weapons in the return game as well, Coach.
No, and that was probably one of the best competitions we had. We talk about the depth, we talk about the competition, and that definitely showed up in our kicking battle with Tyler and Ryan. And both those guys did a wonderful job, and better than any point that we've had up until since I've been here in that arena. And but Ryan did win the job, and we're excited about what the steps that he's taken and how he's continue to improve, but we think that our special teams unit have a chance to be dynamic for us, and it need to be. And whether it's in the return game, in our coverage game, we're gonna continue to invest the time and energy to develop our guys, and to help put the best players in position to go impact the game. And that's going to play a huge role here in this first one.
Yep. Before we let you go, final thoughts on LSU, thoughts on the opportunity on Sunday night.
No, we're excited about it, and anytime you get to kick off the season in a showcase game. I mean, it's going to be the only game on national television Sunday night. I mean, that's why you come to Florida State. I mean, this is where our program deserves to be on this stage and this platform. And we're definitely looking forward to going and getting a glimpse of what the first glimpse of the identity of what this team's going to be. And there is a lot of excitement around our program, and there should be. I'm so proud of who I get to coach and who I get to coach with. Just to get a chance to represent this incredible fan base, and we're excited to see everybody out there Sunday night.
Yeah, Coach, always great seeing you. Thanks so much for the time tonight.
Well, great seeing you, and I appreciate everybody coming out. Look forward to seeing you, and we'll see you down in Orlando Sunday night. Go Noles!
Mike Norvell, ladies and gentlemen, your head football coach of the Florida State Seminoles. Hey, get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. Coming up next, he is one of the leaders of this football team. Fifth-year senior Akeem Dent stops by the program when we return live from Cousha's in College Town as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
Culhane.
Back live, Cousha's in College Town. We're fired up for an exciting 2023 Florida State football season with Mike Norvell and his Florida State Seminoles, and very excited to be joined at our main table by our next guest. He is someone we've watched play a lot of football in the Garnet and Gold, and he's here with us tonight here at Cousha's. Can we get a big welcome, big Seminole welcome for Akeem Dent, ladies and gentlemen, here with us tonight. Fifth-year senior out of Pahokee, Palm Beach Central, and one of the leaders of this squad. By the way, all of our conversations with our student athletes here on Inside Seminole Football presented by The Battle's End. By joining The Battle's End, you directly support FSU student athletes. Get involved today by joining The Battle's End at thebattlesend.com. It is great to see you. How are you doing? You ready to go? You ready to play a football game here?
You know it.
Yeah?
The whole team ready. Everybody ready.
I bet so. We were just talking. Fall camp can get a little bit long. Obviously, some hot temps this time of year in Tallahassee. Akeem, how would you describe to fans the excitement level you have about this team? You've been through some of the tough times, and you've been a part of some great wins, and now you're a part of a top 10 football team. How would you describe it?
A surreal feeling, man. You can't go back, man. Like this feeling right here, once in a lifetime. I'm just happy to still be on the team. You know, make it to my first top 10. Just how you say season. So we're just ready to get out there. We ain't too much focused on the rankings and stuff. We just one game at a time, one play at a time. So.
Yep. You are Florida State's active career leader with 15 pass breakups with your work during your time here at Florida State University, and your next start will be your 31st career start here at FSU. Can you believe that? Go back to when it was your first start.
Yeah.
What would you tell Akeem Dent before his first start with all the things that you have learned over the last few years?
Yeah, there's a lot of trials and tribulations to get right here, but, you know, just keep grinding, keep your head up. So
yeah, absolutely. This is a secondary that has talented returners. You got some young guys in there as well that are doing some good things for you in fall camp. Kind of walk me through the confidence of this secondary room right now, Akeem, and all the pieces that you see out there that are going to make some plays for you this year.
I mean, we're pretty confident, you know, thanks to coaches what they recruiting with the new guys and freshmen, but we're pretty confident, you know, everybody dialed into the process, you know. Every day not a perfect day, but we come close to perfect, you know. The young guys catching up quick, they fast learners, you know. With the safeties, Conrad, KJ, we got Shaheen, you know. All the little small additions what people may not think is big additions, but I feel like they'll be able to make a big impact for us when we need them.
How would you describe yourself as a leader with some of these guys? Are you a vocal guy, lead by example guy? How do you like to do it?
I like to lead by example. You know, I've been here a while, so I just, you know, lead by example. You know, let the work speak for itself. Yep. You know, Sunday, you know, lead by example, then they'll see what's going on.
There you go, absolutely. You're going to share that safety room with a number of guys, but Shaheen Brown's going to slide into that starter role next to you. Obviously, you play with him quite a bit. He had some big reps and big snaps for you last year with some of the games late in the season. What are you excited the most? What do you like the most about Shy's game and the way he goes about his business?
Yeah, this is what you say, way he go about his business. You know, he a long-ranging kid, you know, got good height on him, sideline to sideline. So we just compliment each other real good. You know, he bring the smarts to the game with him also. And he more of a vocal leader, so I ain't really got to talk too much.
There you go.
Got it, so.
That makes it a little easier. He talks. You should lead by example. It's a perfect match right there.
Perfect match.
Yeah, I like that. LSU is the opponent on Sunday night. What's the first thing that comes to mind about their skill set, playing them a year ago, what you learned about some of the guys from that game, and the challenge you face on Sunday night, Akeem?
What I learned, honestly, like, that we just got to focus on us, you know, keep it in-house.
Yeah.
If we play our sound ball, we ain't worried about nobody. Just what Coach Norvell say all the time. We only worry about us, one play at a time, one focus at a time, one snap at a time. So as long as we stay focused on what we learned and what they implement in us, we'll be okay.
There you go. Hey, calling all hungry Knowles fans, every Friday this fall is Football Fridays at Tijuana Flats. Get a free taco and chips with the purchase of a medium drink every Friday by wearing your Knowles gear at participating Tijuana Flats locations across the state of Florida. Wear your gear, buy a drink, get a free taco and chips every Friday only at Tijuana Flats. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for locations and details. One more for you before we say goodbye. Great defensive group. You've faced a really good wide receiver room and passing game with our offense here during fall camp the last month or so. How does that group challenge you every day and prepare and get you ready for a game like this Sunday night?
That group going to challenge you every day. They got skills across the board, fast, short range, fast, quick, all type of skills over there. So that prepares for any team, honestly. So going against that offense, I feel like they're the number one, in my opinion. But going against them every day definitely bump the tempo, iron sharpen iron. So definitely.
Well, we're looking forward to you in number one here this season. We can't wait to watch you play and go out and do it again for another year in the Garden and Gold. Thanks so much, Akeem, for your time.
Appreciate y'all.
There you go. Big round of applause. Akeem Dent, ladies and gentlemen, the FSU active career leader with 15 pass breakups, joining us here at Couches in College Town. And our program brought to you in part by Carver's Cleaners. As a veteran-owned business, Carver's Discount Cleaners provide high-quality dry cleaning services at affordable prices. Visit one of their 3 Tallahassee locations for convenient same-day services. Don't get taken to the cleaners. Choose Carver's. Coming up, we'll talk more defense, a defensive night on the show. Defensive coordinator Adam Fuller stops by the program. That's on the way, live from Couches in College Town, as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. Well, we're rolling along, having fun live from Couches in College Town. Packed house of Knowles fans who are excited to watch the 2023 edition of this Florida State football program. Get it going on Sunday night down in Orlando against LSU. Hey, if you're in town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee, downtown, located in the iconic round building across from the Florida State University campus. Parking is always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee, downtown today. How about a big round of applause? Adam Fuller with us, ladies and gentlemen, Florida State defensive coordinator. Coach, thanks so much for the time. How do you describe this time of year from your perspective? What's it like? Game week for you? Is it the same as it was 10, 20 years ago? The jitters, the butterflies?
There's no question about jitters and butterflies. I think we all get them at this point in our career, no matter what year it is. It always has that same anticipation for the start of the season. And, you know, I see it as a reward for our players, too, and just the amount of work they put in. And, you know, practice is critical. It's all important. But we all do this because of you want that stage.
Yeah.
And, excited for this football team.
What do you like the most about the way your guys are practicing this point early in the season?
I just think the consistency. You know, they've had a really unique way of showing up every single day, and no matter the challenges we put in front of them, you know, they've stepped up, and it's been a great group to be around over the last 6 months since back in January when we started. And, you know, we've added a few pieces since then, but, you know, I thought just the way the team has meshed together and some of the leadership has started to step up. I really like the direction that we're headed.
Who would you identify as your main guys you look to as leaders on this group? Who are the guys that jump out at you right away?
You know, there's obviously the group that have played for a number of years that, you know, you rely on. What I like at this point is you have them at all 3 levels, you know, and you have multiple people. And you've had some players that, you know, have come through the system that have been here, like Akeem Dent, Renardo Green, Kalen Deloche, that have been here for a long time. Then you have some guys like Fabian Lovett and Jarian Jones that have really developed. And then you have some of the newcomers that have come on the scene, like Jared Verse. And, you know, then we've got the group of newcomers, you know, with Braden Fisk and Fentrell and some of the freshmen. So it feels like a team because, you know, the way you build it in college football right now is you add the right people. And I think we've added that with whether it's the development of high school players of a Kevin Knowles or a Zarie Thomas or a Patrick Payton. You know, and it's just a really good collection of players and teammates, and looking forward to going to work with them.
I've got a thought on there's probably some unique challenges there with meshing all that together with as many talented pieces that you have. We got to go to a break, but I want to talk about that in our final segment with you here on the program. Is Adam Fuller with us, ladies and gentlemen, Florida State defensive coordinator on site here at Coos in College Town. And Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State football. Order from Grassroots Coffee for your home or business today at grassrootscoffee.com or find it at a store, restaurant, or coffee shop near you. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. More to come with Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller when we return as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
Host, Jeff Colhay.
All right, back live one final time inside Seminole football, our first edition in 2023. Joined right now by defensive coordinator Adam Fuller. And did you know that reading one text while driving takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. Put your phone down and set aside all distractions. Don't drive distracted. Arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. So the thought I had was you got returners, talent, newcomers, freshmen, and you got a mix of all that within your defense right now. What's that challenge like of putting all those pieces together as you look at it on the grease board from a coach's perspective and fitting it all and making it work?
I think that's a special part of the job, and our job is to develop young men. And part of that is how do you work with each other to become your absolute best every single day? Mm-hmm. And there's challenges, whether it's injuries or competition. Everybody wants to be at the front of the line, right? And we all want the fingers to be pointed at us individually. But I think we all learn that if you work collectively together, success is bound to come. And I think those lessons that have been taught, those lessons have been learned, carried on, I think are important in our growth because we need more than one. We need more than one side of the ball. We need more than, just one unit. We need a team. And I think Mike's done a great job of promoting that, but the players have even done a better job of taking that and running with it.
Yep. Thoughts on the challenge, Coach, Sunday night with that LSU offense?
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. We've got a great group of young men, and we're looking to go out there and battle. And I'm proud of the work they put in, and now it's the competitive excellence time. It's time to go out there and show it for 60 minutes and whatever it takes, and looking forward to going to battle with this football team.
Yep. It was early in the season last year. Both teams progress a lot, right, from game one, game two for us through 12, 13 games of the season. Do you see a lot of that with them, with the tape you went back and looked back upon from what you planned for in that early season game and some of the items you picked up along the way down the road?
Yeah, I think both teams got better along the way, and that's usually the sign of good coaches, good programs, and good players. You get better as the season goes on. Doesn't mean you win them all, but Coach Kelly's been super successful everywhere he's been, and so, that's what you want. You want to play against a team with great talent, great coaches, and, that's why you line it up.
Yep. Fall camp overall, I know in hearing and listening to you today, pretty happy overall, right, with the work you guys put in. And the theme I took away from you and Coach Atkins, Coach Norvell, JP, was just the business-like approach that your guys had each and every day, getting ready for practice and off the field in meetings as well, getting better every day.
Yeah, listen, it wasn't all sunshine, right? That Jacksonville trip, and there were moments that we set up to try to make sure that we kind of show what it's going to be like during the season, the rigors of what it all is. But I think what we all saw collectively was that group never turn away, never shy down, and continue to move forward together. And I think that's going to be an important attribute to this football team this season.
Yep. What are the next few days like? What are the big items you're really honing in on and discussing with your group preparing?
Well, it's like my wife Hope's here with me, and she's like, what day is this? Right? Because
right.
As a football coach, you just fit in, this is a Tuesday, this is a Wednesday, a Thursday. So, we've done a good job organizing what the schedule's going to be, very similar to the Sunday start last year when we played this team. So you just kind of go into that mode and that mindset and, just get ready for the next one.
Yep. Coach, it's always great seeing you. I can't wait to watch. We can't wait to see your team go.
Thanks,
get
guys.
it. You guys will get
Thanks,
it.
guys.
That's Adam Fuller, defensive coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait to watch his defense on display under the bright lights Sunday night against LSU. Hey, Knoll fans, when you head down to the big game in Orlando, make sure to grab your Knoll Pass toll sticker along the way. It works on all toll roads in Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Plus, you can score volume toll savings. Go to getKnollPass.com or find Knoll Pass on Amazon. Do we have some fun? We do all right. Night number one. Next show, by the way, not next week. It's going to be on September the 11th. We're off next week. Everybody coming back from Orlando. For Mike Norvell, Dan, Adam Fuller, Chris Culp, our entire ABC crew, I'm Jeff Culhane. Have a great night, everybody. Go Noles.